Let me guess. You tried to quit pornography, but it seems like no matter what you're doing, nothing is working for longer than a week. Despite the fact that you told yourself you're going to quit. Despite the fact that you actually want to quit. And despite the fact that you're actually doing something about it. You're actually trying things and wanting to stop this habit. And the reason is, you're trying to fix it at the wrong level. It's kind of like if you're on a skyscraper and there's a fire on the 5th floor and you're still on the lobby pulling the fire extinguisher going all willy-nilly. It's not strong enough. It's not hitting the right points. Because here's the problem. Most people are attacking this habit at a logical, conscious level. The only thing is it's not happening logically. And it's not happening consciously anymore. Because logically, you don't want to go back to pornography anymore. Logically, you already watched YouTube videos. You already know some ways on how to quit. So why aren't you? In this video, I'll explain exactly why, and I'll explain the only way to cure it. And before you're like, who is this brown guy with a comb back hair telling me how to quit pornography? Well, I've actually had a 10-year addiction myself, and at this point, I've freed myself and I coach men on how to quit pornography. And although I do give them some logical tools to help them in the moment, rewiring their subconscious mind is the real reason they find success, no doubt about it. Because have you ever known what to do and you still don't do it? Like, I'm pretty sure you know you shouldn't be scrolling at night on your bed looking at OnlyFans models' Instagram page. You know you shouldn't do it, but you still do it. I'm pretty sure that you know bringing your phone inside of the restroom when you're already feeling a little bit horny probably isn't the best idea, but you still do it. Why do you do it? I'll tell you why. It's because your subconscious automatic behaviors override your logical thinking brain 100% of the time. And this is actually built into humans to protect us and to help us. Because all your subconscious systems actually are, they're just learned behaviors to help you. And pornography just so happened to hijack that system. This is why it can feel like there's two different versions of you. There's one version that absolutely wants to quit pornography. And there's another version of you that does the exact opposite whenever the urge hits. And the reason is simple. Because you followed the path to feel good. You followed the path to avoid pain so many times that your brain automatically says, hey, Nathan is feeling down. Let's give him some feel-good chemicals. Hey, Nathan is bored. Let's stimulate his brain. And the scary part is, you don't get a decision in that. It's happening without your consent. Because I don't know if you know this, but everything is decided subconsciously. And your brain, again, it does this to help you. Imagine if you had to remember how to drive to work every single day. It'll be overwhelming. But once you take the same way, once you take the same streets 4, 5, maybe 6 times, your brain learned how to navigate. Your brain learned where the stop signs are at. Your brain learned where you can go fast and where you can slow down. And it makes those decisions for you to make it easier for you. Hey, by the way, I help men quit pornography. So if you actually want to kick this habit and want to free yourself so you can reach your full potential, click the link down below and let's free you from this habit. Anyways, back to the video. This is why you can say, this is the last time I'm ever going to go back to pornography. But as soon as you get triggered, as soon as that automatic loop starts, no amount of training will help you unless your brain finishes that cycle, completes that loop, and watches pornography. And then you're back to square one. Because you didn't solve the root issue. You're just trying to put a band-aid on it. But let's break down why this happens. Because the number one step in actually quitting pornography is understanding why you go back to it in the first place. And I'll tell you something scary. The reason you go back to pornography, even though you don't want to, is because you're smart. And it's because your brain learned something. It learned that no matter what you're feeling, no matter what negative emotions you have going on, it can give you a solution in just a couple of minutes. Because pornography in this day and age is always one click away. And the more times you run to that loop, the more times you use pornography to cope, the stronger and stronger and stronger that habit becomes. And the weaker and weaker and weaker these surface level solutions that you might have tried work. They just fade away. Because let me tell you something. No app is going to override your brain's habitual patterns. No blocker is going to keep your brain from finishing that loop once you get triggered. And here's the scary part two. Because pornography gives you such high stimulation in such short amount of times that if you don't attack the underlying pattern, if you don't go inside of your brain and actually rewire that loop, nothing else is going to compare to that high that watching pixels gives your brain. And that's why pornography is so addictive. Even if you're smart, even if you're disciplined, even if you're successful, because it's not a choice. Remember that. This is why hypnosis, or what I like to call neuro reprogramming, is the only way to actually free yourself from pornography long term. Because we're going to go into your subconscious, we're going to rewrite these habits from the inside out. Because, just a quick newsflash for you, this habit could have been anything. You could have trained yourself to cope by going on 2-mile runs. You could have trained yourself to feel better by gambling. You could have trained yourself to feel better about your bad emotions by writing them down and talking about them. But you didn't. You chose pornography, and now we have to fix it. And hey, I did too, so no shame about it. But we have to fix it before it gets worse. And the shitty part about a habit like this is every single time you use it, every single time you look at pixels, every single time you even look at a picture or a video of it, that loop becomes more hardwired into your brain. But let's say you don't want to use neuro reprogramming. Let's say you don't believe in hypnosis, and you say to yourself, oh, I'm just going to quit watching it, or hey, I think these logical solutions are enough, or hey, I have enough willpower and motivation to quit. There's only one teeny tiny problem with that. You're looking at this on a thinking level. You think you have the choice to decide. But this habit, especially if you've been using pornography for 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years plus, it's not a logical thinking level. It's an automatic behavior. So I'm sorry to say it, but I don't care how strong a fire extinguisher is, it's not going to penetrate a brick wall and hit the fire on the other side. It's just not. And that's exactly what you're trying to do if you're trying to quit pornography without using hypnosis and without rewiring your brain from the inside out. You're just spraying a fire extinguisher, trying to get through a brick wall. And here's the thing, you might get some flames through like the tiny cracks, so you might be able to stop for a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. But what happens after that? The fire is just going to keep growing on the other side of the wall, and then you're going to relapse. And then you start the cycle all over again. And again, I've done it as well. I'm speaking from experience. I tried to outsmart something that wasn't thinking. It was doing. And that's why I stayed addicted for 10 years. And the only reason why I was able to actually quit and break free from this addiction is because I had a total switch in my worldview. And I realized this is not a discipline issue. This is not an issue of me making the wrong decisions. This is a wiring problem. This is a problem where you trained yourself to go back to something that doesn't serve you. So if you want to quit pornography, you have to understand this. If this habit was learned automatically at an unconscious level, then it has to be unlearned and rewired the same way, automatically and on an unconscious level. And the very cool and exciting thing about this is that your subconscious brain can solve any issue that you give it. I don't know if you've ever taken a walk, or maybe you were in a shower, or maybe laying in bed when you were completely relaxed. And then you had an amazing idea pop into your head. Has that ever happened to you before? It happens to me all the time. Why do you think that happens? You weren't consciously thinking of a solution. You weren't consciously thinking of it. But your brain is always working in the background. It's always thinking, it's always doing, it's always firing. It's always trying to solve problems for you. That's why your subconscious brain is so powerful, especially if you're trying to quit a habit like pornography. And I know what you're thinking. A lot of people have misconceptions when it comes to hypnosis, and a lot of people think it's unnatural, or maybe it doesn't work, or maybe you tried it and it didn't work for you. But let me break it down in a way that's very simple for you to understand. It's a natural part of your brain. It's kind of like this. If you go to the gym every single day and you eat protein and you have a nice diet and you exercise regularly, naturally, you're going to get a pretty nice physique. You're going to get some nice muscles. You're going to get nice and toned. You might even get abs. Your muscles will be defined. But there will be a certain limit. But if you take some kind of performance enhancements, that limit It's not right here. It's blown out of the water. Your muscles will get bigger, you'll have more tone in your body, you'll have more energy, and you'll grow to sizes that seem unreasonable compared to somebody that isn't taking those same performance enhancements. That's exactly what hypnosis is. You might be able to do certain things with your mind just the way it is, but using neuro reprogramming is like a performance enhancement. You're going to be able to go faster, you're going to be able to do more, you're going to be able to rewire patterns that you would never be able to if you didn't use this tool. And the best thing of all is if you're trying to rewire your brain by yourself, if you're trying to interrupt old patterns and try to associate new connections and new rewards inside of your brain without using hypnosis, it might take you 4 months, 6 months, several years with relapses in between. But whenever you use hypnosis, whenever you use neuro reprogramming, you're able to do it with your eyes closed and maybe drifting off into a nap. We're going to go inside of that beautiful brain of yours and rewire your reward system, rewire your triggers, and rewire your urges. So whenever you do get triggered, whenever you do get that urge in your day-to-day life, you don't respond the same. Your response to those urges are completely different. You're not going to be fighting the urges like you used to anymore because you're changing how the urge feels like. Instead of that urge being so compelling and so strong and such a war, it might be just a small thought that you're easily able to overcome now. So that is why, based on my experience, based on the men I've helped, based on my own journey, I wholeheartedly believe that hypnosis, aka neuro reprogramming, is the only way to cure yourself from pornography long term. So if you want to give yourself a fighting chance and actually overcome this habit once and for all, click the link down below and apply to work with me one-on-one so I can actually give you all of the tools necessary to break you free and so you can actually live the life that you deserve to live. Other than that, best of luck and I'll see you later.